Welcome to the show. It is another Saturday morning or afternoon or evening, depending on where in the world you are, or it could be Sunday. I don't know. Um, Welcome. And with me today is Chris and Marty,
Howdy, howdy.
gentlemen. And we've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to do some catch up on hobbying. We're going to do the news, obviously. And then at some point, we're going to talk about crowdfunding. And is it killing gaming? That and much, much more. Much more. Right after we do this.
Big Duke 6 Eagle Thrust. Put on War off. Sing it loud. This is a Romeo Foxtrot. Shall we dance?
You are listening to the Sitrep podcast, your source for everything related to historical wargaming. Whether you are looking for the latest wargaming news, reviews, painting tutorials, or playthroughs, you will hear about it right here. So grab your favorite beverage or brush and let's hit it.
All right, guys.
Let's hit it.
There. All right, comments are live, and we are live and in person. Good
Woohoo!
morning.
Except
Welcome.
for we would be remiss if we didn't indicate that we are missing a person today.
We are.
So my long story short, shot glass will
Nice.
not be needed today. Jim is under the weather and will not be joining us. We hope that you're feeling better, buddy.
I don't know. You might want to keep it handy. Chris likes to ramble once in a while.
Yeah, but it doesn't say long story short.
That's true.
I
And it's
can.
not Jim.
That's true.
I can, but because I knew he wasn't going to be here, I didn't bring any alcohol.
Yeah. So there's a lot to talk about today.
Yeah.
One of the things I was going to mention to you two gentlemen, and I use the term loosely.
Good call. Good call.
Before we went live, is I'm thinking of a little bit of a change.
Nobody's accusing you of thinking.
I know.
Right.
How do you guys feel if we just sit rep into everything? Historicals, fantasy,
you mean
sci-fi,
you mean gaming?
Bringing the gaming world together.
So, kind of like merging other realms and.
Yes.
Where's Dawn?
I don't care.
Go get Dawn out of bed.
Why does Chris look like one of those Saturday afternoon kung fu movies? Why are you going to do that for? I don't know.
Well, he probably has shitty internet. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. The guy that's got the most expensive fiber in America pipes directly into his house.
Right. So I don't know. I'm just thinking about it, because like we have other realms, we have sit rep, and it's like it's a lot. Let's just.
Right. I'm down.
We wouldn't be going away from our historical friends or, base, it is who we are. But, as we've chatted over things, we know that other people in our community do more than just historicals. Now, there's a few that do. Like we have one that really likes weird World War II and beyond.
Who has his own channel, oddly enough.
Why not embrace it, right?
Yeah, I'm down.
I got you guys into Dust back in the heyday.
Speaking of which, we were talking about Simon earlier. Their volume 2 graphic novel, Dust with the Figures.
Yeah.
Update came out. Chris, good find on that. Simon put it on their Facebook page yesterday. They're going to start shipping in February, but those of us in America will probably see it March-ish.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, it was due in October. That's when it was going to be delivered.
Should I quote you directly, Marty?
About fucking time?
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah, that was my response. It turns out, and somebody commented on that post. He's like, I would have loved to get into that, but shipping was more than the book was.
Yeah.
Which is true. However, turns out in our little area, there's a bunch of dudes that were interested. So we have like 10 people that ordered together and paid shipping once.
There you go.
So now we're just waiting for everything to arrive over at our buddy Jeff's house and then distro those out.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. Very, very, very cool.
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Chris.
Okay.
What have you been up to, sir?
Well, let's see. I've been getting my geek on quite a bit this week. D&D Thursday night. Last
Wait,
Saturday.
stop. D&D?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which version?
We're just playing 5e. But there's different versions that go on. But that's just the group that I'm in.
No, five is good. I mean, that's what everybody plays mostly these days. You do have some special ed people playing 4th edition.
I didn't know anybody still played 4th. I thought it was 3rd or
There's
5th.
people who like to play the 4th edition because it's more like you combat with your miniatures.
Okay.
First off, don't pick on the special ed people by calling them that.
I'm sorry, Chris.
No, well, true.
Yeah,
so yeah, no, that was Thursday. Saturday, got my ass handed to me playing Age of Sigmar.
Did you learn?
Oh yeah,
Well,
don't
Oh,
fuck with
yeah.
giants.
He was schooled, all right. Turns out he's playing with some very veteran players.
well, that's how you learn, right?
Yeah, giants hurt when they hit you.
A lot.
Typically they do. Yes. Good observation, Chris.
Yeah, when you roll in for that 1,000-point game and the guy's got 2 figures, that ought to tell you something.
Is that it?
No, he had 5. But
What faction are you playing in Age of the Sigmar?
I am playing Soulblight Gravelords. So I am undead.
Undead and vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Marty, why does Chris look like a dwarf again?
Well, because he likes to
I'm
lean
lazy.
way back. I don't know.
Chris the dwarf.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I
I
play.
was gonna say that's his D&D character.
Yeah.
It is.
Cool. So you got some Sigmar going. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Whose army did you play with?
Mine.
Were they painted?
Well,
No.
And they let you play?
Yes, because these are good people.
Narrative game over at Steve's house.
Oh.
But
you know,
they
some of
have
those
now
GW
been
players, man, if you don't have a painted army, you ain't playing.
Yeah, no, and that's okay. Those people that are like that
Yeah.
don't necessarily need to play. These guys are good people because they were very, very helpful while they whooped my ass.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say while their giant smashed you in the face.
Yeah. But I've got
See,
just
what had
over
happened
1,000
was
points put together.
Yeah.
And they're all primed.
Nice. Congratulations.
At least first round of priming.
He counts that as 2 colors, primed black, zenithal white. That's 2.
No,
Okay.
I only have the black on right now.
Okay.
Oh, come on. You didn't even zenithal them?
Not yet. No, I just finished the black last night.
All right. So you've done some Sigmar. You've done some D&D.
Yep.
Anything
I've got
else?
my new airbrush inbound. I got shipping label, but it hasn't been paired with a shipment.
And that is the Hardner Steinbeck
Ultra 28.
Ultra
24.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I got to pull the trigger. I haven't done it yet. I need to.
I ordered it on the 1st. It was supposed to be out the 8th-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Then it got pushed back.
That happens.
Yeah. And it shipped yesterday.
They will release no airbrush before it's time.
Well, and it's coming from Germany.
From Germany.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, mine's coming from Florida. Spray gunner.
But
no, that's who you bought it through. The the actual device is made in Germany.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Let's
Anything else there, sir?
I don't think so.
All right. Martin?
Well, I was showing you guys earlier. So I finished my in-country starter set. The Green Berets have been done, but I didn't have their bases
Fighting
all the
soldiers from the sky.
That's right.
Brave men who jump and die.
100 men.
Well, show them. Where are they?
That's
Let's see something. Proof of work.
All right, so
we took Chris's word for it, but
we'll see.
There you go. There you go. Nice, really nice.
So that's one of the Green Beret guys. they've been painted for a while, but I didn't have the bases done, and I hadn't. I put a matte varnish on them. So they are done, and these are the guys that I actually just finished. These are the PMC looking dudes.
Okay.
So there's 4 of them. So they're done, and then my favorite one. Come on,
You're being blown out, sir.
there we go.
A firm
turn
missile.
it. There you go. With the Turbo Dork.
Yep, Turbo Dork goggles on there.
Perfect.
Oh, I noticed that wasn't in your news piece.
Didn't I talk about Turbo Dork?
The new formula and bottles?
Yeah, didn't I talk about that last time?
I don't think so.
Well, yeah, add that. Yes, 100%. Yeah, I thought we'd already talked about it.
I don't think we did, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah.
All right, so you got your in-country dudes all painted up.
Yeah, well, I got that. So that's the Western starter set. Now, work in progress. I'm working on the females, so they're just base coated for their uniforms there. I got 2 of them going. And then I've got
Good morning, Dennis.
24 question mark 2024 African militia dudes from in country as well. Nice. They are primed and zenithal and will be next up after I finish the females here.
Very cool.
So that's what I've been working on mostly.
Very cool.
Also, I decided that I was really happy with how these guys turned out. I'm like, I want to take some pictures of them. I'm like, but I want to have a nice setting for them. So I started making like a little diorama that I can put them in.
Very cool.
Nice job, man. Currently, it is the base is drying, so I can't show that off because there's a pile of books on it to keep it flat.
Nice, congratulations. Cool.
I've got Bill's background. That one.
Oh thing. Yeah. Maybe I come grab.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have the 2x2 demo board. You could.
Throw that I have that as well.
Yeah. Oh, he's talking about the photo background hanger thing.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what, Marty? The easiest thing to do is just go to Michael's or any art store. Just get a big poster board, of like green. Well, no, don't use green because you've got green guys. But
yeah, I was gonna say that.
I'd say like purple, and then we green screened it out, and then we can Photoshop the shit out of it and make it look like you're anywhere. And we have fire and smoke and explosions.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, could do that.
Yeah, I mean, so if you could do that, I'll work on it for you and give you a nice display picture.
Pretty sure. I think I've got some white poster board.
Okay.
I can do that with.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anything else, Marty?
So hobby related. Chris is busy buying airbrushes, and I've been working on paintbrushes.
Yeah.
So I bought the Army Painter dry brush set because that's much more affordable than going Artist Opus. Because like what I paid for the Army Painter set is like what one.
Hold on, wait, hold on. What's that look, Bill? What did you buy?
Yeah.
Bill.
I decided to buy the Artist Opus.
Complete set, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
I do have a set of the Army Painter dry brush set. I've never used them.
Not my fault. I didn't. There was no.
Well, I got those pro acrylic paints. I might as well have good brushes.
Yes, I concur. But so I've been winging it with my dry brushes, using like a lot of like makeup brushes and whatnot.
You stole Don's makeup brushes, did you?
Those, no, I braided my daughters. So Maria used to get this like little influencer kit where they send you bullshit because that's all it is. However, she's got, I don't know, a stack of like 40 little makeup bags, and I keep stealing them and then using them to put hobby shit in.
There you go.
Works terrific. And then as far as regular paintbrushes, I couldn't pull the trigger on like one of the really expensive, really nice Kolinsky brushes. So I got a Da Vinci set though, which
Did you?
was
Nice.
five or six brushes. I have not used those. Those just arrived yesterday, so I'm looking forward to taking those for a test drive because, yeah, my current brushes are showing their wear, shall we say? I mean, most of them are 3 or 4 years old, and they have some mileage on them.
Yeah,
And
you do a lot of painting, so
Doo-doo.
do.
you said doo-doo.
I did say do.
That's like Tuffy Ears reporting for duty.
Duty.
Morning, Tuffy Ears. Good to see ya.
Morning.
Or afternoon in your case.
Yeah. Notice he didn't say good to you, Tough Ears.
Is what it is.
But
It
are you
is.
PMCSing your brushes properly?
Yeah, but I mean, after like I said, after 3 or 4 years, fair wear and tear, as well as
Yep.
a bunch of the ones I have are, let's be real, are cheap synthetic brushes. So, it's a different animal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You should also have like a couple hundred of those for all the ones we bought. That I bought for the.
Oh, those are all in the boxes. I don't break into any of that shit. That's like work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
Bill, I don't know. This might be interesting. Maybe you can help me solve this mystery.
Okay.
Doing laundry last week.
Yeah.
I threw my my brown fleece from the Army, the one that comes with the multi-cam extreme cold weather system.
Mm-hmm.
Threw it in there because it's been sitting in my truck for like a year. And I'm like, okay, it's due. It's got dog fur and crap all over it. I go to take it out of the dryer, and there's something bouncing around in there, and I thought it was like a quarter. Does that look familiar to you?
Son of a bitch! It's Clint. Yeah, I painted that guy.
Yeah, well,
he doesn't look very painted though.
He's unpainted now, and I don't know where the fuck I got this from, and I'm like, the only thing I could think of is it had to have been in that jacket. Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. How long? I don't know.
We were helping
morning,
them. Remember, we were helping them pack to move.
But we moved 2 years ago. Almost.
That's what I'm saying.
That's about the time.
Yeah, but see, I don't wear that thing. It just lives in my truck.
Show me
in
it
case
again,
I need one. It's Outlaw Josie Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a knuckle duster mini.
Yeah. I had no idea where this thing came
I love
from.
knuckle duster minis.
Yeah. Yep.
They're great.
Forrest just put out. He's a machine. He is always
he
putting
is.
out stuff. He just put out the 3 Caballeros.
So what you're telling me, if you're looking for an efficient way to strip the paint off your miniature, just throw it in the washer and dryer?
It got everything but the primer off.
Oh, well played.
Well, that's Rust-Oleum primer, to be honest. So, Rust-Oleum auto primer or something like that.
Well, that stuff works. Let me tell you.
Yep. All right. Well, what have I been up to?
Well, let's see. You bought some Artis Opus brushes.
I was just reviewing it.
You got your Pro Acryl paints.
The Pro Acryl paints. So I have been sicker than a dog. Like Jim is now. It hit our house. So I have not even touched those paints yet.
You know why that's happening? You keep buying stuff,
paints.
and your wife is trying to kill you.
No, because she's so sick as well.
And she's buying
she buys stuff.
Paying the cards. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't
let her
she's
fool
not
you.
getting hurt in.
Yeah. So I mean, I've been putting together the Waterloo box. These minis go together really nice, by the way. Just if you have not seen our unboxing video, they go together really nice. So
that's Warlord's kit, yeah.
Yeah, Warlord's kit, and I noticed the price went up since I bought it by like $10. But
wow, see, look, you're saving yourself money.
I saved money. So yes, I was looking at the Artis Opus stuff, and I did put an order in. They have the complete set for $357.
Oh, you're getting all the brushes, not just the dry brushes.
Well, yeah.
Okay, just we were talking about dry brush. I thought you might have just gotten the dry brush set.
Oh yeah, no.
'Cause
I
the-
mean, if you're gonna go all in.
'cause
That's my
the-
motto.
Yes, it is. Because the
Yeah.
dry brush set is like 110, 115, something like that.
Yeah, the if you just do the dry brushes, if you get the complete dry brush, oh no, the D series complete plus 20 brush. I don't know where's the whole just the D brushes, the D brush.
Deep brush.
Eh.
Does it come in a bag? That would be a
brushing,
D bag.
brushing the D.
Well, they got it broken down by individual brush, unless you go with the complete series, which is 20 or 10 brush set. That's $260. So
What happened to the 5 brush set?
I don't see it.
That's what they were selling at a
Oh, there it is. I'm sorry, $130.
$130. All right, I was close.
But for $357, you can get the mega bundle because it's on sale right now, and it comes in these custom engraved cases. So you get the D box type set.
Ought to come with a fucking butler.
I'm assuming it's only like the 5 brush sets. It's not the full. Yeah, it's 5 brush, 5. So you get 5 of the S Limited, 5 of the D, 5 of the M series.
You ought to get a brush valet that comes over and selects it from the box for you, like a golf caddy.
Yeah.
Right.
Sir, your round pointy number 1 brush.
Yeah, you hand it back to him so he cleans it and puts it back in the bag.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So I got that. I have to go to the store and pick up my pre-order of the Old World.
Did your store make it through the tornadoes okay down
Oh
there?
yeah, fine.
Good.
Yeah, so I got the whole stupid everything.
Shocker.
That was on pre-order.
I
got all those minis to work on. Plus, I still got 40K sitting over. I got Legion Imperialis sitting over here.
As Dennis said in the comments, go big or go home.
Right. So, I literally just got to put on some headphones, turn on some music, and just go to town, and just put stuff together. And then I ordered a minis cabinet. It's going to go right over my shoulder here where this black curtain is. So you'll be able to see it in the background when it's all lit up, and we'll start putting minis and stuff in there because we still have to put together a Malifaux set because Dawn wants to do some Malifaux videos. I really like. If you guys have not played Malifaux, it is a great game. I love it.
Did you get an IKEA Detolf?
No, I got this display cabinet off of Amazon.
Oh.
So, of course, I'll put together and all that, but all I got to see. Rasmus says, I got a 2-starter epic set from American Civil War. Only got the point of desbrewing it, right? Yeah. I think you and I got our starter sets at the same time, Rasmus.
I was going to say, he got the Warlord set, right? Didn't we talk about that a while back?
Yeah, when it first came out, I got the big bundle.
Yeah. It's up there.
What you have now? Or you have both sets? You bought one and I had one.
I didn't get that other set.
Oh, then it must have gone to that game store then.
Yeah.
But so I did that, and I'm really close to pulling the trigger on some WoFun stuff.
Let's see. Would that be Western?
Yes. So I was looking at the Western stuff. They look great. I was looking at the Civil War stuff. It looks good.
Yeah.
I was looking at the Napoleon stuff. It looks good as well.
Yeah.
I can see me getting head over heels with all that stuff because boom, you punch it out. If you want to get fancy, I've seen people, the acrylic edges, they will paint them so it adds depth or whatever. I don't know what so it doesn't look clear, right? I just take a magic marker and just go over it.
It helps to help you with unit cohesivity.
Something, whatever. So I was like, man, I can just pop these on the table. You can have a battle like that.
Yep. Yeah. Super, super fast and easy. They're a little pricey.
They are. They really are. Especially if you get that artist guy's name. If you get the WoFun ones, they're not as expensive. But if you get the artist guy, I think it's Peter Dennis or something like that, they are expensive.
But that there's a price to pay for convenience, if you will, where you literally, as you said, you pull them out of the box, you put them on a base, and just start playing.
Right.
Yep.
That's it. That's all there is to it. I mean, it's super fast and simple to get those dudes set up.
And they look pretty good.
Yeah, and compared to considering the fact that you just dropped $600 in paints and brushes.
Yeah, then there's that.
There's that. Thanks for reminding me.
The other thing, and sometimes people don't think about it, but it is particularly with mass battles and Napoleonics and whatnot, it is a legit consideration. Think about what 15 millimeter metal miniatures weighs versus this, and you're
Yep.
trying to transport that stuff around and whatnot. I mean,
Yes, sir.
that is an actual legit concern. Steve Fratt, who's local to us up here and goes to many of the like Little Wars and whatnot. He's a HMGS Midwest member.
Former president.
He converted all of his Civil War stuff over to WoFund because it was much easier for him to transport and carry than all of his lead miniatures.
Yeah. And he sold 40,000 lead miniatures.
40,000.
And then he invested all that into WoFund.
Yeah, then he turned around and bought WoFund.
Yeah.
That's how he funded his WoFund purchase was.
And they look great. We've seen them on the table.
Well,
we've done
interviews. Because I wasn't even looking at the 28 millimeter scales, looking at their 10 mil. I think it's 10 or 18. Well, they have 10 mil, and I think they have 18 as well, depending on the era.
Yeah.
So I was looking at 10 mil, for the big, huge, like Napoleonic battles or Civil War battles, because you can put a whole bunch on the table and it'll look really good. So
if you want to get
and they sell terrain for it too. So
yes,
if you want to get your Civil War gaming on while you're up here, do a game with Steve.
Yeah. We'll have to see with Adepticon what we get into. So
you'll have time.
We shall see. All right. Other than that, I think that's it for me. Should we go to something else? Maybe?
As you wish.
Listen up, people. It is time for the news with Marty. What in the wide of world wargaming is going on? Let's in on the scuttlebutt. Bring on the awesomeness that is wargaming.
Yeah, let's do this. All right, first up, from our good friend Gaz. He reached out to me last week and he said, hey, I don't know if you guys have talked about this, but this is something that I found. I thought I would share it with you because it might be interesting. And I said I was not familiar with it, and I went and looked, and I'm like, "Ooh, this is pretty cool."
These are STLs?
Yes. Excuse me. Company called RKX Miniatures out of the UK makes STLs. You're not buying a physical model. You're buying STLs. So all you 3D printers out here, this one's for you. But they have a huge selection of World War II STL files.
Wow.
Nice.
So U.S., British, Canadian, German forces, all the vehicles. They've got a bunch of stuff. And when you look at their webpage, it looks really nice. And
yeah, it does.
Gaz, I think, is getting some. And I'm going to follow up with him after he prints and paints them to see what his thoughts are on it. But from what Gaz was sharing is that he knows other people.
That whole thing was only 10 pounds,
and really, really like their files. So they're designed in 28 millimeter, of course. 3D printing. If you want to shrink them down smaller because you play 15 or whatever, figure it out. They're the files themselves are available in supported or unsupported versions. Pick your poison. The larger models, you can get they'll be hollowed out if you want. So that way, you're not, making a giant chunk of resin. But they're very nice looking models, right? I mean,
yes.
I don't know who paints all their stuff, but kudos to that guy or gal. I mean,
damn it! I did not need to see this.
Now you need a printer.
That's why
I need a printer.
That's why I led with it.
Dawn's gonna be mad at you.
Oh no! She's not
gonna be mad reporting the news.
She's not gonna be mad at me yet. But wait, there's more. So moving on to our next story.
Yeah.
Bill, who may have an affinity for
epic I saw these. Yeah.
Yeah. The latest release from Brigade Models out of the UK is 3 modern warehouses. They say modern. I mean, the modern era, like
Yeah.
in the past 60 years.
Yeah.
But those would be great for any of your
Yeah.
industrial areas on a board. And they're pretty universal, so you could probably drop those into almost any scenario that you
There you
have.
go.
But
Hey,
all three of those come together as a kit, 5 pounds.
Yeah.
nice.
Five pounds.
If you do some glass looking stuff on that third one, it's almost like a greenhouse, like Schaefer's greenhouse.
Right.
Well, in scale, that is much, much bigger, but yes. All right, so here's a word of advice for particularly our U.S. Listeners and viewers that are interested in this. Brigade's a small company, little shop, right? They do
Mhm.
great. They do great work, but think mom and pop type deal, right? Um, so they have to deal with all the shipping issues that come with Brexit, and they talk about it in their blog and on their webpage. So what does that mean for us? Shipping might be delayed a little bit because they have to gather enough orders to ship at once to their
Mhm.
whoever sends them out over here. Uh, and the cost may be a little more than what you're used to for their shipping.
Right.
The good news here, though, and again, you can look on their webpage and it goes into much more detail on it. Is there's a 20% VAT built into the price, so that 5 pounds has a 20% VAT built into it already. U.S. doesn't pay VAT,
Right.
so when you go to check out, your 5 pound item will now become 4 pounds essentially. So it won't cost you quite as much on that end.
Mhm.
So
There you
you know
go.
it's a little bit of a trade-off there, but they've got a bunch of cool stuff on there. If you're looking for epic scale stuff, your 6 mil and whatnot,
Mhm.
go check them out. They got a bunch of stuff that is really nice.
There you go. All right.
All right, moving on. So when I talk a lot about modern stuff, that's kind of the
Mhm.
entry point for me. So I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone a little bit. Don't ask me any
Roger
historical
that.
questions because I can't. And Jim's not here to bail me out. So,
Or we can
but I
make it
am
up.
gonna go back a ways to share some news about an era that I generally don't talk about, and that's the English Civil War. I came across this, and realistically, I was gonna go blow by it, but I kind of searched the interweb for news when I'm putting this together. This came up like 16 times. I'm like, I'll I don't know if this is, super good marketing or if there's a lot of buzz about this, but it seems
Mhm.
like something people are interested in. So I will share it. So Alternative Armies has their Furioso English Civil War rules and 15 mil armies now released. Uh, so it's an 80-page tabletop rules system. The rules just came out. The miniatures have actually been out for a bit. So
Mhm.
uh, they were trying to get their book done. Wasn't done in time for their miniatures release, and they said, "Nope, we're pushing our miniatures out." So those have already been out for a while. But the book is available in print and as a digital download. And you get a little bit of discount there as well. So if you go to their store, which is you're going through now, you can find it. If you just want the rule book, $16.
'Kay.
16. That's like giving it away. $13 for a digital copy. Now, if you're Bill and you want the all-in mega bundle, start grabbing your pearls. $376.
Wow.
But you get everything. I
There
mean,
you go.
it's a pretty big set. Uh, you know, but there's several options between just buying the rule book and getting the all-in bundle there. So if you just want one of the armies, you don't want both sides. You've already got some. You just need to flesh it out.
Mhm.
You just want the terrain. You can get all that stuff as you can see scrolling through there. There's a bunch of different dudes that you can get, and you can get them in units, you can get them in bundles, you can get them individually. Just go through their webpage, which is vast and extensive. They have a whole boatload of other offerings. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about the Furioso English Civil War stuff here.
It's crazy.
So
Very nice.
If that's your jam, go check it out. All right, moving on. Gringo 40s. Nothing new from them. However, they've been out of some stuff for a while. But specifically their Vietnam 1968 range,
Mhm.
they've been restocking. So all their Arvin stuff is in stock again. All their U.S. Marine stuff, as far as I could tell, going through it, it looks like everything is back up to full strength now. So you can order whatever you want because they kind of been out for a while.
Okay.
They've got a pretty extensive line of miniatures. So if you like their style and they're all metal miniatures, go check them out. They've got all sorts of great stuff there. So I figured I would share that for those that might be playing Vietnam era.
Very cool. I tried to click on their link. Their site's running a little slow.
Oh, no.
Douglas, happy New Year to you. American or English Civil War rules okay. No steel chairs in sight. I'm not sure what that means, but okay. Warlord Epic has been tempting, but smaller scale gets you to field. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Moving along, sir.
True that. All right. So
Oh, here we go.
I know that you got some new paints.
Yeah.
That aren't these. There's a lot of buzz about these, so let's talk a little bit. So
Yes,
the Army Painter is releasing its newly revised War Paints Fanatic set. So
Mhm.
this is the old War Paints. People said it separates. The medium's not good. It's gloopy. Whatever. Also, personally, other than the fact that you had to shake the living bejesus out of them. I didn't have any beef with them.
Yeah.
They work for me.
Yeah, my little shaker be fucking smoking.
But
right.
So they the Army Painter has decided that they're going to release these new sets, and it's a pretty cool setup. So
Yeah.
they're available for pre-order. Bill, if you want to get the all-in limited edition Fanatic
Not this
complete
time.
set, 216 paints plus a bunch of other freebie crap that they're throwing in there for the low price of $759.
So I bought the mega set or
Oh,
complete set, whatever it was, of the original Army Painter stuff.
the
Same
mega
here.
set.
Yeah, and so I am going to reserve my thoughts until I can actually buy a couple single bottles of the new formula, and I'm going to test it against my Pro Acryls.
There you go.
And
so,
we'll see.
yeah, the Fanatic Mega Set is available for pre-order right now. That's a mere $199.99. So, and that's 50 bottles plus some other. You get a free paint rack, I think, with theirs.
Yep.
So that's what's up and available currently, and then they're going to break those down into smaller sets, and they're going to have individual bottles and all of that later on this spring.
Yeah.
So a lot of buzz about the
Oh, Douglas, I get your joke now. Got it.
The lot of buzz about the new set. One from the reformulation of the paints. People like the consistency. They're much more heavily pigmented. You get good opaque coverage.
Yeah.
And they're kind of famous for having a triad system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they have what they call a flexible triad system.
Yeah.
It is 6 paints, all the same hue or all the same color with different hues along the way. And then it tells you where it falls in that line, as well as, they got the big chart on the box, that type of stuff. But on the bottle itself, it tells you which little color family it falls into, which group of 6, and where it falls in there. And then you can kind of figure out, if you're one of those guys that likes to, stay in that family for your, your base, your shadow, and your highlight.
Mm-hmm.
They've done the easy work or the hard work for you, making it easy to figure out which paints to look at. Additionally, with the their little flexible triad system, particularly in gaming, all of our paints are called like Dragon's Breath or Ogre Fart, and you're like, what color is that?
Mm-hmm.
So they still have that naming convention, but also they have a common naming convention, if you will, where it'll say strong dark purple.
Yep.
So like, oh, okay, that makes them, that you may call that epic dragon skin, but I know just looking at it, they're saying this is a strong dark blue purple or whatever however they describe it. It's got a
Sure.
plain language description of it, which I kind of like because as it turns out, I've got red green color vision, so I have a hard time telling colors apart sometimes.
Right. No, I get you. So, to answer Dennis's question about Vietnam rules from Rubicon, not that I'm aware of, they've released them yet. Maybe we'll see something at Adepticon. I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
But to your point, Marty, as far as the triad, the flexible system for painters, non-professionals, it's a great tool to have. To have the plain English descriptions as well is good to have. I
Mhm.
mean, because there are times where I look at a paint going, what color?
Yeah.
And I know some people like Army Painter paints. Some people like Citadel paints. Some people like Vallejo.
Sure.
Pro Acryl.
Yeah.
Um,
So
I've
far, yes,
typically
yes to all the above for me, except Citadel. I'm not a fan.
right.
Just
So
primarily because of the pots,
yeah, I
Yeah.
hate the pots.
not the
I hate
paint
them with a
itself.
passion.
Yeah.
Um,
Paint's good.
so it's what you like to use. Again, it's a tool.
Yep.
The skill of the person using the tool, goes a long way. Now, of course, you have a craftsman drill or you have a Dollar General $10
Yeah.
drill.
Yeah, but
Yeah, there's going to be some differences.
sure,
Um,
sure.
like I
Yeah.
said, I don't hate Army Painter paints. I just haven't had great experiences with them.
I've been watching some of the previews on this,
Yeah,
and then Uncle Adam Loper over at Tabletop Minion, and Sam
yeah,
Lenz are both
yeah,
on their factory team,
yeah.
and Uncle Adam seems to love them.
Well,
You
okay.
know,
Disclaimer: I've
you know,
been watching Uncle Adam, Sam Lenz. I watched the guy. I think he's out of Denmark or something. He wears the mask with the
the
pink triangle thing on it.
oh,
And he does a great job of breaking down all the colors and
Staley. That-
yeah, I think that's the same. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody I've watched has
Ollie.
compared the new Army Painter Formula Fanatics, liked them. I'm hesitant to fully go in on based on all of them. They're very reputable guys. I'm not taking anything away, but they were all supplied the paints.
Oh yeah,
And
100%. No,
several of them
there's
are
a deal
working
behind
with
all
Army
of these.
Painter,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
because Sam and Adam are on the Army Painter
Yeah,
factory team. They were just
yeah,
at LVO working the Army Painter table,
booth.
literally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
So,
yeah, 100%. But Adam Loper, Uncle Adam is he kind of seems like an everyman's hobbyist, if
he
you
is.
will,
He's
to
a great
me.
guy. We know him. I mean,
You
we
know,
talk to him every time we see him.
right,
We just saw him at
right.
Gen Con this past year.
And that's why I say if he's digging it, understanding, I know that not only has he provided this stuff, but there's probably some other compensation going on.
Yeah.
Um, does that color his decision? Maybe, but he seems to really like it.
Let's see what
Now,
we
Yeah.
can do.
am I gonna buy any of those big ass sets? Hell no. No, wave
Well, the
up,
other thing
not
is you buy
doing it.
that the complete set. There are colors you are probably never ever going to use,
Right,
and they just sit there.
Yeah.
right.
That was,
But
Chris. You and I can attest to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely. But
but
I
and
am
also,
gonna.
Bill, you can't buy any other sets of paint because you haven't even pulled your Pro Acryl out of the wrapper yet.
Right. Well, because I've been sick.
uh,
However, because the Pro Acryl line is limited in colors, right?
Yeah.
You get the base 24 bottles, and then you can buy the 4 or 5 expansion sets plus the specialized sets,
the signature series or whatever.
signature series. So I've gotten all those now. Um, but I feel like there might be some special colors. I don't know until I play with them. But if I go with another set of paints, I'm probably going to lean towards 2 thin coats.
Yep. And
So
Well, like anything, don't you have a little bit of everything? I mean, like, for your silver, a lot of people
Yeah.
use Vallejo Air Chrome,
yeah,
right? You
again,
just
it
be
comes
able
down
to
to
use
the
them.
tool, right?
Yeah, you got to figure out what you like and what works for you.
Yeah.
Like I'm interested in this paint range. I'm
Mhm.
not buying any of those mega sets.
No.
When
No.
a smaller set or individual bottles become available, when I have a need for to refill one of my colors,
Mhm.
I'll probably if it's available, I'll get one of those and take it for a test drive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or 3 of them, so you can have the
Yeah,
triad.
my plan is to
I don't
get,
give a
like,
crap about it.
their standard
I mix
a
all that stuff.
comparison red to the Pro Acryl red, and I'll probably
Mhm.
get a 2 thin coats of red, and then test them and see what works. And
Sure.
from what I'm seeing, everybody loves the Fanatic. It coats well and, does what it says it's going to do. I just have to
You know,
do it myself
Mhm.
to see it's one of those I gotta see it to believe it, just based upon past experience.
Yep.
so
And I'm gonna tell you, some of the Vallejo paints suck too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Everybody's got a
Their
paint that
flesh
just isn't
paints
right.
are terrible. So, they're typical flesh paints, thick and,
Chalky.
dumpy and
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yep.
But, now there are some colors where it might be nice to get the triad,
no,
like,
it is because there are times where I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm painting and I wanna shade something. I'm like, "Okay, what can I use?" Right? Or do I mix
So
something to bring it? So, yes, from a user
so
standpoint, having that triad system there is game changing.
so
yeah,
one of
especially
the
in red.
yes, that's what I was gonna say. One of the things I'm looking forward to is seeing how that flexible uh triad works in red because
Mhm.
you you can't just add white to red. You get
Right.
pink.
Right. No, you gotta go with yellows and oranges.
So, and getting that right again for
Yeah.
me is very difficult.
Right.
So
Yeah, with you being colorblind, that
yeah,
helps a lot too.
that might be a moneymaker just to like get the red set if there's such
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
thing.
and that's what I was leaning toward when I
Yeah.
mentioned that to you.
Yeah.
Mm,
Alright, what's
yeah.
your last item, sir?
All right. I was showing off my figures on my hobby work. Those
Mhm.
are from In Country, and as it turns out, In Country by Enemy Spotted Studios, our good friend Julian over there.
Wow, good prices.
So
Yeah.
yeah, they're having a big sale on their In Country stuff because they are moving warehouses, and
Mhm.
they would much rather sell and ship this stuff than pack it and move it, right?
Right?
So, if you are into modern military figures, take a look at what they've got. They've got some pretty good sales going on. I can tell you from experience, they have high quality, very detailed miniatures. I'm a fan.
High
I will
detail.
100% tell you I'm shilling for them because I I I have them personally right here and I like them.
Yep.
Uh,
And
as
they
well
didn't
as I
they
know the
didn't give
guys.
it
So
to you. We
yeah.
bought
Oh
the
yeah, no,
artwork.
we purchased this, but I mean, like we know the owner, we know the local guy, hi Tony.
Yep,
We run into them at events. I've gone and played with them, on game nights.
yep.
So uh, good dudes, but more importantly, good figures. They have really
Mhm.
crispy metal figures. Not all of their figures are metal anymore. They are transitioning over to uh, resin. So, if that makes a difference to you, make sure that you look at the description to see if it's a metal figure or a resin figure.
Mhm.
Either
Uh,
way, they're super
but
detailed.
but they're yeah, it's a pretty good price for their sale stuff
So
as
these are
well
all
as
metal minis here?
Depends
there's
on
a
the
pretty
one.
good chance, I
Okay.
think, question mark.
Like,
Yep, metal.
man,
Yep.
super detailed. Like, did you ever get the
Yep.
watches painted?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got watches on them. They've got, they'll have chem lights on them. They've got a lot of very fine detail. Now,
Mhm.
if you're not that guy, you're like, bro, I don't want to get that deep into it. You don't have to paint every detail. It's just like with the dudes that are playing 40K and they're like, oh my god, there's so much going on here. You don't have to paint all that, bro. Paint it the same color of the armor, put a wash on it, highlight it or whatever, and move on so you can play your game. That is
Yep.
100% legit as well. You know, but if you're the nerd, like I'm the tryhard, if he puts it on there, I'm gonna paint it.
Yep. Now the other thing, all of the kits that they're
Mhm.
wearing are all authentic. I mean, he actually
Mhm.
makes it known between the different types of nods, the appropriate nod for the right guy.
Yeah,
It's
or
not just a generic nod.
or the weapon systems and what like if you look at their weapon system, you can tell who's using a Magpul forearm and who's not
Mhm.
because it looks just like the one I have on my rifle. Like, oh, look at that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I think I'll wait until they move so I can get the 2-player set because they're all out anyways.
Yeah.
So,
Or that could be part of your pile of shame that you bring home from
well, that's true. I'll just pick it up at Adepticon. That might be the best way to do it.
because it gives you an
Yep.
opportunity to interview Julian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Jillian and
Cool.
Tony will be there, I'm sure.
Yep. They also
And then
now have a store down in down under.
Nice.
yeah, they have yeah. So that's kind of how they cracked the code on dealing with the orders from Australia and New Zealand. They just put a place down there.
There you go.
They
Yeah.
work with a lot of local guys,
Mhm.
and those local guys usually have a lot of merchandise as well. So
Mhm.
Tony, when he'll go out and he'll go to a store or he'll go to a location and run a game, he'll have merchandise you can buy off of him.
Nice.
Yep.
Very cool.
So one addendum, and we kind of talked about this earlier. Speaking of paints, so and I didn't include it in the news because I thought we'd already talked about it, but maybe that's just me talking to myself.
Mhm.
Turbo Dork. First of all, great people, love them. I talk to them every year at Adepticon. I always look forward if they're doing a special release for the convention. Got to get that, got to get the convention bottle. Let me spend the $4. It'd be all right.
Yep.
But so they are kind of reformulating and redesigning their stuff as well. In particular, they have gone all in and super hard on their bottle design of all things, right? So they've got their mixing balls in there, and they've got a new nozzle and all this stuff that they've been working on to improve the painter's experience, so to
Yep.
speak. So, and they've got the craziest color. All right. So speaking of a place that has paint names that aren't related to the real world, I mean, you got to figure out what color spicy meatball is or bubblegum. You
Mhm.
kind of, you kind of might have an idea by the name, but purple people eater. Guess what color that is? It's purple.
That one's easy.
Yeah. But
especially since
of
they're
them,
color shifting.
Yeah.
Well, not all of them.
Yeah.
That's the other thing you got to look at because some of them are just straight metallics. But I'm a fan of their paints. I've got I don't know a dozen of them
Mhm.
that I use for specialty stuff. I don't routinely paint with them, but they're a lot of fun to use and they're good people. So we'll have to see how their new bottles turn out there.
Yeah. And it looks great on your fur missile.
Yeah, that's why I did the goggles on my working dog. So he's got some spicy meatball goggles on.
Mhm.
Hey, what paint company had the baby poop brown?
As a name or as a color?
Name. Well, it was the name of their color.
I was gonna say because there's a bunch of them that make that color, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But you looked at it, you're like, yep, that is the right name.
I mean, they weren't wrong.
Nope,
they were not wrong. I remember what you're talking about there, but I can't remember who made it.
Yeah, I remember standing in the aisle at Games Plus looking at that.
But it was definitely an accurate description for any of us that have had to change a child's diaper.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It goes this far. How can it turn into a fucking nuclear bomb?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's time to hit some meat and taters.
Nope. Hold on a second. There's a couple other things I've been seeing in the in the Facebook post.
Sure, go ahead.
Black Site Studios has
Uh-huh.
a game dropping, I guess, called Breacher.
Oh,
Thanks
that's
for
been
being
out.
on the show. Yeah, we talked about that last week.
But what I was going to get into, we were talking about the cross country stuff, the from any studio. All a lot of the Breacher terrain looks great for
Modern. Yeah.
modern. Yeah, it's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Thanks, Chris.
Yep.
No, if you haven't checked out Black Site, they've gone from a little tiny group, company of building pre-colored terrain to really just taking over the world.
Right? And so Black Site came around, what, 2018?
Something like that.
Right?
Something like
Yeah.
that.
And like you said, they started off as a train company, and now they've got a bunch of games.
Mm-hmm.
They're helping other people develop games. They are the U.S. distributor for Spectre. I mean, yeah, they're. Oh, and by the way, nicest people you're ever gonna meet.
Yep. Very nice.
They come to Adepticon, and last year I bought a what did I get, the Not-A-Burger.
Yeah.
It's the fake Whataburger.
Uh-huh.
Just because I like the vibe of of it, so I bought that. But I was literally, so I'm chatting with Ben, one of the owners,
Mm-hmm.
for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Just good dudes.
Yeah.
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 We when I was playing In Country up at Games Plus, we one of the tables was enemies or Black Site Studios tanker. It was on a tanker.
Oh yeah.
There we go. The damn tanker, the damn oil rig. Yeah.
That tanker's like $400.
But it's sharp as hell.
I say that because I looked long and hard at it.
I know. I know.
I couldn't pull
I agree with you,
on
Dennis. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably pick up some stuff. I mean, Chris has my display board that I bought off of Black Site Studio when they came to the convention in 2019, and they didn't want to take it home to Texas, so I bought it from.
And that was a hit.
And it's beautiful. Yeah.
That is actually gets use. It was a big hit up at the In Country event.
Good. Excellent.
Yes.
All right, let's talk some meat and taters.
Here we go.
Right. So, everybody has their opinions, and I'm going to tell you mine.
No.
Yeah.
You opinionated? Never.
Is crowdfunding finally killing games? Why do I bring this topic up this weekend?
Yes. What could have made you think of this particular thing, dear William?
So, I'm going to do something that's probably very unpopular in wargaming journalism. That's what we are, in no sense. Is calling out a company.
Don't call me a journalist.
I mean,
you're just a fluffer.
We're the fluffer. We're just calling strikes and balls over here, Bill. We're not calling nobody out. It's on their webpage. It's on.
I'm calling them out. Trust me, I'm calling them out. At this point in time,
they have a press release. It's not us calling them out.
Right. That's true. If you guys are unaware, there's a company out of France called Mythic Games. Many years ago, when we were still associated with Beast of War on tabletop, we actually met Leonidas and Benoit at Gen Con. I don't remember which Gen Con it was now, but because they brought out this game called Mythic Battles Pantheon. And they previewed it at Gen Con. Amazing miniatures. Amazing game. And then, they did this big deal with the guys in Ireland at Beast of War, and we promoted heavily, and they did this Kickstarter for it. Very successful. And the game came out because it was actually a combination of Monolith and Mythic Games at that time, right? It was a partnership. Shortly after that Kickstarter, Monolith and Mythic Games parted ways. And then Mythic Games started producing other games. Joan of Arc. Can't remember the other one, the Hunter guy. But they've done many games since then. We've backed a couple. And I noticed a trend. Every Kickstarter seemed to have longer and longer delays and issues, and which leads us up to today's or yesterday's announcement about Mythic Games, Mythic Battles, Ragnarok. Okay? Or not Ragnarok. Sorry.
No.
Hell.
Yes.
Yeah, Solomon Kane. Thank you. And Darkest Dungeon. So they have several Kickstarters out that they have not delivered on. It was like they complete a Kickstarter, go a few months, and then start another Kickstarter. And to a lot of people in the world, it became suspicious, thinking they were using a Kickstarter to fund
The previous
one.
one.
Kickstarter.
Yep.
Which led to, where did all that money go? Because, I mean, their Kickstarters were making $1 million plus or close to it. Right. I'd have to go back into my Kickstarter log and look at, because I backed Solomon Kane. I did get Solomon Kane eventually, but I don't think I got all of it. But there's several games out there that have not delivered, like Siege 6, which is a Ubisoft game. And then Hell, which I backed because it was similar to Mythic Battles Ragnarok, I think. But I got my Mythic Battles Ragnarok this past week. Basically what happened is Mythic Battles has been just messing with their backers for a year or more. Well, for quite some time, saying we're going to have their communication stopped, basically. And then they'd come back. They actually hired Sam from Dice Tower to be their their social media guy, right? And then he just disappeared. They got rid of him, I'm assuming, because they couldn't pay him. We actually knew the guy that Sam replaced. He actually worked with us on Tabletop Beasts of War, and he went over there, and then he got replaced. We knew another guy, Ben, that worked for him, and he no longer works for him. I think he works for Steamforge now. Oh, there's another thing we could talk about, Steamforge, right?
Yeah.
So it's just one thing after another and after another, right? And yes, Ragnarok is from Monolith because Monolith took the license for Mythic Battles after the split. So yesterday, all of a sudden, out of the blue, Mythic Battles says, and they kind of hinted toward this because they were supposed to have an end-of-year announcement in 2023. It came and went, nothing. And then all of a sudden, cryptic message, we'll update you in February. Well, yesterday, we got a backer message, and it went public, that they have sold the IP for Hell to CMON. CMON then comes out with an announcement and says, hey, we now own Hell, and he basically the game wasn't what we thought it would be. It's not ready. It's this, that, this. We're going to basically redo the game, which then leads to me to hold on a minute. If you look at the Kickstarter page for the game from Mythic, they had this all fleshed out and all this. And then you look at it, it's like, well, it's just all digital stuff. So anybody could sit down and create digital images. And then they told the backers, if you backed at a certain level, you will get a free, quote unquote, copy of
that you've already paid for
at the base game. No expansions, no whatever. So nobody knows what's going to be in the base game. Yep. They don't know what the play is going to be like. They don't know what the miniature is going to be like, how many miniatures you get, so on and so on. And so people are rightfully upset.
Yeah, and it's not just Hell.
And it's not CMON's fault. So we cannot vent towards CMON. CMON,
right? Fair enough.
Didn't have to do that at all, to be honest with you. They didn't have to come out to people and say, hey, if you paid, we're going to give you a free game, because they didn't get the money for it. Mythic got the money. And then CMON paid Mythic a fee for the IP. Right. Mythic didn't give them the IP. There's no way that ever happened. So why is it that Mythic's collecting all the money and everybody else is shortchanged or having to pick up the pieces for them?
Well, and that's why I've been have my head down on my phone here because I couldn't remember the other one. So, uh, not only did they get Hell, but they also got
Anasteer?
Anasteer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then another company bought a couple of their licenses. Basically, what's going to happen is they may get Siege 6 out, and then they're gone. I'm hoping that's the case. Which is a shame. I know Leo. I met him. We've done things, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if they just weren't business smart, or if all that money coming in got to their heads and they did stupid things. You know, crowdfunding kills games, and crowdfunding can be good for people who don't have money and they, use it to help start their company. But then there are some where they overpromise. We're going to do this super amazing Kickstarter program, and we're going to just give you this, we're going to give you this, and give you this at certain levels. And then you begin, how are they profitable?
Yeah. Well, and we were talking about this earlier. It's kind of ironic that Simon, who is kind of infamous for using Kickstarter as their pre-order format, because they've got the money to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They do, but they choose to crowdfund it and use that as their pre-order is the one that got these.
Right. And now that Simon's actually part of Asmodee, unless they've been sold again. I think Asmodee was selling stuff to somebody else.
Nope, they're still at Asmodee North America.
You know they have the money. You darn well know they have the money. But 100%. They use Kickstarter as a pre-order. So, you can't even go back to the argument of, well, Kickstarter is an investment platform. There's no guarantee you're going to get your investment back, blah, blah, blah. When you have companies like Simon using it literally as a pre-order platform.
Yeah. See, so, I have beef with that. Like, you're a little game designer. You've got your little thing, and you're trying to jump from here's my design to I want to go into production. I think that Kickstarter might be a useful tool and an appropriate place to do it. You're a giant ass company, that has all the production already locked up. They own the production facility already.
Right.
They own it. It's not like they have to go make a deal with somebody. They own it.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
So, just like stock people do, they, rate stocks and companies. The official position of Sit Rep Podcast crew is Mythic Games is a do not buy company. Don't do it. Yeah, don't invest in them. If you have a Kickstarter that they have not delivered, and because, like I said, I think it was like $100 or more to have one of their games. They came to their backer and says, "Oh, we underestimated it," or they blame the war in Ukraine
and the pandemic
and the
supply chain. And,
yeah. So they needed more money, like $100+ per backer to deliver a game. So
I mean,
it'd be different if they were in Ukraine.
Right. I mean, I understand there's actually a lot of artists and stuff that work out of the Ukraine. So I get that. I just don't see how they were involved in it. But I could be wrong. A lot of companies work out of Poland, as well. So at some point you got to stop the excuses and just be honest with people and say, we don't have money. We fucked up.
Yeah, because we've identified the Ponzi scheme, because that's what this is. Because
to the average Joe, it looks like a Ponzi scheme.
Because as you stated earlier, it looks a whole lot like I'm going to have this Kickstarter to pay for my last one that for some reason I don't have the money to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
to Stingen's point, I'm sorry if I butcher your name. I do see Siege 6 getting delivered because it's a licensed product from Ubisoft, but I don't see Monster Apocalypse. I honestly think they will have no more money after they get whatever form of Six Siege out, Siege 6, and that will be it.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
the doors will close.
Monster Apocalypse is either going to get sold to somebody else or it's going to
Yep.
die on the vine.
Yeah.
That's my guess as well.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten some great products from Kickstarter, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. You just had a whole stack of shame.
Well, that was from Monolith. That was for Ragnarok. And those minis are beautiful, by the way. Holy shit, are they nice. You know, we've had several. I mean, if I look at my thing, I've backed close to 100 projects on Kickstarter. I mean, I know people who have done much more than that.
He's an addict.
Not as much as I used to be. To be honest with you, this whole Monolith or the Mythic Games thing has really ruined it. So I have another edition of Onus, the War miniature card-based game. I'm waiting on that. I got those Clincy brushes. Got my Mythic Battles. So I got the Vietnam 3D train. I mean, I've gotten a lot of good stuff out of here. So I have no problem. Frosthaven. Oh my God. I still have that huge box. It's not even opened yet for Frosthaven. So I don't mind supporting companies, but I'm going to be a lot tougher on who I do, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I know Monster Apocalypse IP is a Privateer Press, but I don't see them being successful in getting it out the door because I don't know if they. Here's the thing: they are so hurt for money. They cannot. I just don't see it happening. They will get Siege 6 out because, you know, they've already asked their backers for money and all that for that to finish. But you know, whatever money they got from selling the IP to CMON is probably what's helping keep the lights on. They've let a lot of their people go. I mean, they're probably running at minimal staff nowadays. So
you had thrown it out there briefly, but
yeah.
Steamforged as well. Here's a brand new thing from Steamforged though. Suddenly, you know, Guild Ball died on the vine. We're not gonna support it anymore. Guess what's roaring back to life? Oh,
well, you know what?
They want to support it.
That was a Kickstarter. Did it hugely successful. I remember the first year they came to Adepticon, there was a line. You know how the sales floor is. There was a line all the way out the doors when waiting for them to open their booth because everybody wanted the pitch, right? They made a neoprene field, and then they wanted this and that. Even when Steamforged said, we're not supporting it anymore, there was still a huge following.
Still is,
People weren't playing. It's just that, again, this is, you know, based upon what knowledge I have in the community, is that Steamforged saw dollar signs doing IPs because they were doing all those IP games, right? And so they felt the money was there versus in their own game, the thing that made them who they were.
Right. I think they've reconsidered that position.
Well, I'm thinking they can't afford the IPs, and they want to go back to their, you know, what made them who they are.
Yeah, because
Guild Ball's a great game.
Yeah, well, as it turns out, the community, did not slow down.
Yeah.
You know, the people that like Guild Ball like Guild Ball.
Yeah.
And they play it.
Yeah.
You know, it's
even to the point where I saw in a community comment, they told Steamforged to stay out of their game, meaning it's our game now, not yours anymore.
Yeah.
So stay out.
You said you're not supporting it, so you get no say about you know, community developed rules or, you know, how we want to play because you don't
so it'll
care,
be very interesting to see how they navigate that because they're going to have to do a lot of work to get people's confidence back. Yeah. Tough years. I agree on the Dark Souls RPG. Yeah, they kind of just went stupid on some of those IPs, and they're great guys. We know them as well. We've met them, talked to them, sat down with them. Great guys, you know. Question also is, do IPs kill games? A lot of them do because a lot of the games themselves aren't good. You know, the only IP that I can think of that is amazing is Lord of the Rings. Middle Earth. I can tell you a lot of people who will say that is the best rule set GW ever did.
Yep.
Is the Middle
Because
Earth.
you're not changing it every 6 months.
So,
And-
well, hey, they announced there's new models and there's a new book coming out.
An expansion, yeah.
Yep.
Right. Now, they have been doing expansions. They've been doing that, and there has been a new rule book out.
Right.
But they're not changing the rules. They're just incorporating the errata,
Right.
which has been nice. They're clarifying things.
So if you look at some of the history of Kickstarter, let's take Ninja Games. What the hell's the name of their company? Was it Ninja Games? I think it was. They did some games, and they did some Kickstarters, and they fell apart. And then our friends that did Drop Zone Commander back in the day, he did a big Kickstarter for Drop Fleet, and I think that poor Dave, it just overwhelmed him, and he ended selling out to, I think, Tabletop, to TT Combat. For that, I think it was TT Combat, or was it somebody in the comments will know. But some of the companies, they get into these again. They get in these Kickstarters and they see, wow, if I promise all this stuff, I'm going to get all this money in, and things like that. So Rasmus said, I stayed out of IP-based games ever since AVP. Oh, what a mess AVP was. They're still haters. Oh my God. I felt so bad for those guys. The company behind Protos. We know them. Actually, Protos, the owners of Protos were the ones that made Dawn's Mini. That company. Her Jezebel Mini for,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of them around here. I just they're not within close reach, but yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're great people to work with. Again, I think what happened is they just didn't understand the business side of the whole thing. And
with that, we are not judging.
No, we're not. I'm just stating fact.
We don't get
some of it is opinion, but some of it is based upon a fact.
Well, and
thanks, Dennis. Dennis has 2 of those.
Oh, good man. So one of the things I see from particularly like some of the YouTube folks and whatnot that have, I'm going to design my own miniature or my own bust or whatever, and then I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this through Kickstarter, is the amount of back end work for a Kickstarter campaign is out of control. And if you don't have people, one, that kind of have a clue and know how these things work, and 2, somebody other than yourself that's dedicated to doing it and managing that process, it gets very difficult very quickly, is what I've been observing from those folks.
So Kickstarter, like I said, can be really great for those smaller companies that are realistic about what they're doing. Dawn and I have actually consulted on a couple of Kickstarters before they went out. And I designed a video for one of the Kickstarters for Impudent Mortal for his terrain. And when we helped him on that project. The first thing we said is, you need to build it at least a 20% overhead for changes, right? Whatever you think you need and what price point you want to be at, you need to have at least an additional 20% margin for unseen expenses, shipping costs, whatever.
Right.
And don't overpromise. Okay, Marty. So yeah. So, you just got to be realistic and don't get over your head about it, because it will kill you. It will kill you.
There's been some good Kickstarters that I wished I had backed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and then talking to a friend of mine, he was like, man, I so wish I got into the Zombicide Kickstarter, because he'd have everything. And each one of those things are now, $100 each.
Yeah.
The Kickstarters that I've been doing mostly are STL based.
Mm-hmm. You run little risk on STL ones because they're pretty much done by the time they go to Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I mean, I get pretty quick delivery on any one I've backed so far.
Yeah. I backed the painter's storage, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. I haven't printed any of it yet, but
Yeah.
and it was like $30-$40, which
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Some of these things are going to be twice the cost after the fact.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And-
I've backed a couple of the printable scenery Kickstarters.
Yep.
Great files.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel safer doing those than some of the other projects, that are out there.
and you actually get delivery around the time you're supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it is one of those things. I think it's good when it's used correctly, but some people have just gotten over their head, and unfortunately, we've seen too many good companies go away due to Kickstarter in some aspect. Another comment in the comments was about Halo Ground Combat, Spartan Games. Spartan Games made Dystopian Wars and some of the other things, and then they picked up the Halo license and made the game for Halo, and then they pretty much shut them out.
I think that
we covered them at Salute the year that Halo came out, and I mean, it looked amazing. If you go back to those videos, you'll see us filming the ships and everything, and it was shortly after that they were gone. And who just picked up Halo? Somebody was it Mantic picked up Halo IP? I think it's Mantic, which concerns me in a point that is Halo still a relevant IP these days? Good point, Dennis. The Firelock Games, yeah.
Yeah, we've had good experience with them.
Yep. And I got mine sitting right there. That's another box I got to put together. But no, those guys, we've known them since they hit the scene. They're out of Miami, and we've worked with them a few times. And
yeah, Mike and Rasmus and why am I drawing a blank? Who's their historian? Ben Bennington.
mhm.
God, I'm not fully caffeinated yet, even though I've had a pot of coffee. Drawing a blank on it. One of the things I wanted to make mention of, and I think we've kind of talked about it, but just to kind of state it plainly, I think that there are companies that get into Kickstarters and they end up being the victim of their own success. Because you talked about them getting in over their head, right?
Yeah.
And they they're expecting, I'm gonna, I need to raise $15,000, let's say, and people are wildly excited about it, and they get $400,000 worth of orders, and they have nothing in place to be able to handle that volume.
Correct.
And then suddenly things are challenging. It's like, what do I have to do? Where now I got to go somewhere else. I thought I was going to do this in my garage, or I thought the little dude down the street was going to be able to handle this, and he can't. So now where can I go? What can I do? Costs get out of control, because suddenly, economy of scale, you may be able to make your product cheaper. But as it turns out, now you have a transportation cost because it's on the other side of the country or in a different country.
Yeah.
And you have to get it from A to B just to distribute it after it's been created. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that goes on there. And I think that's killed some dudes along the way.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
Which sucks. I mean,
yep.
Turns out you're pissing everyone off, and your company is going under because you have a really good idea and a good product that you just can't pull the trigger on.
Yeah.
Or at least not efficiently.
Yeah. Yep. Rasmus has a good point, as well as Dennis, about, if you back a Kickstarter pledge, money's gone. Right.
Yeah.
And if you get the product, it's a great surprise. It's almost like if you go to Vegas and you put your money in a slot machine, it's money's already spent. It's already gone. There's no guarantee you're going to get it back or win anything. So
you take whatever you're willing to leave there.
Yep. If you can't afford it, then lose it. Don't spend it. Right. Yep. If you can't, just say, well, it is what it is. So, yeah, and on the other side of the coin, to be fair to companies in Kickstarter, there's people who do think of it as a pre-order system. I mean, outside of a few companies that we were aware of, and they get really mad when products don't deliver or are delayed. Well, I paid this much. I should blah blah blah, or I should this, or and yeah.
Yeah,
So
Kickstarter is even though you get companies that use it that way, Kickstarter's not a pre-order system. That's not
yeah,
what it's designed or meant to be. And other than the couple of companies that we talked about that do it that way, uh, that's not how the yeah. Thanks for sharing. That's not not how the majority of companies operate.
right.
So maybe you get it, maybe you don't. Again, do they end up being the victim of their own success? Do they get in over their head on their pre-orders? I mean,
Hmm.
uh, what is what's the company that makes the super expensive table? Wormwood.
Yes.
So they wanted to raise like what was this was probably 3 years ago now, 4 years ago. They wanted to raise like $300,000 to make a bunch of really high-end gaming tables. They kickstarted like $9 million.
Yeah.
Holy crap. They didn't have any clue what to do. I mean, I thought, because I saw the video when the Kickstarter went live, I thought that dude was going to throw up on the floor after he got done screaming. He was so happy because they had no way of delivering that. I mean,
Right.
they were a small custom wood shop, and now they weren't.
Yeah.
In the matter of seconds, that was no longer your life.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was his life. The rest
No,
of his life.
no, it's not, and here's why. Most of those people aren't necessarily there anymore. They couldn't handle the pressure. They didn't like the work environment.
Okay.
They had to go buy they literally went and bought a factory, then had to completely stock it, and they're still working on tables from that Kickstarter.
Hmm.
They bought an Amish freaking woodworking shop and then killed it. Whoops.
And
Oopsie
then
daisy.
it goes to how much of that money's left?
Yeah,
Did they lose money in the end because they had to go out and buy
I
a
was
warehouse, a shop, tools
yeah,
that they weren't
transportation.
planning on needing?
And here's the thing. Did it kill them yet? Because they're still going. They're still delivering that stuff.
Hmm.
They're so I don't know. If you ordered one of their tables, hey, put it in the comments. I'm interested to see if you got it or not. Because I mean, literally, they make a $10,000 table.
Yeah.
If I spent 10 grand on a table, don't think I'm not looking at you to bring me my table, boy.
Right.
Where's my stuff?
Exactly.
Right.
Not
Exactly.
not all their stuff is $10,000. You could
No,
also get
yeah.
like a $400 coffee table, game table version, little
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, it's the time that they said, hey, these are our products, nobody was expecting that kind of response. And they, like I said, everyone's all celebrating until the realization set in. How do we deliver this? Because our little tiny shop can't do that.
Right. Exactly. Let's see. In the time of Gates Antares Kickstarter, they shut it down because it was getting too big. To be honest with you, I don't remember if it sounds right, but I can't attest to it. I know there was one or two that did that because they're like, "Holy crap, we just can't handle this." It's the volumes. It's outside of what we're able to handle. So,
Yeah, right.
Okay, tough ears.
I got 310 cables in Castle. Okay, all right. Hey, it's you feel like sending one of those to a friend? I can't even afford shipping on that much less a table.
Yeah, we can't even afford to go look at the table in the castle.
Oh, okay, there we go. Qualified it. Inner dreams, yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you guys think out there? I mean, you've guys had some great comments, and I know some people just won't back Kickstarter at all anymore. There are others who won't back anything from certain companies. There are people that won't back anything IP related.
And I would imagine that most of our, particularly folks that are in the comments right now, but many of the people that listen or watch this have had some experience with a Kickstarter. You know, how'd that work out for you?
Yeah.
The one thing for me about Kickstarter is everybody's getting into it, and now it's hard to separate the wheat from the chaff. I mean, trying to dig down and find out what is going to be good and what's not. It's like playing stocks with no, prior knowledge.
Yeah. Well, it's you got to do your due diligence, and sometimes you just got to be willing to take a risk. Especially if it's an unknown company, a little guy. So, the way I look at it is, if it's a little guy and they're promising some huge super thing, and that's like,
yeah.
If they're doing something that seems reasonable for who they are, then I'm more comfortable to back it. But just look, like I said, hey, what's the day today?
Saturday.
27th.
Is it somebody's birthday today?
It may be.
Is it somebody's birthday?
Fred? Is it Fred's birthday?
No. Mr. Wimmer.
Mm-hmm.
Happy
That's why I'm
birthday.
wearing this. Thank you. That's why I'm wearing the shirt. It's a marvel that we've aged this, that we've lived this long.
You have.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty comfortable that I was gonna make it this far.
As my mom said, she didn't think I'd live past 21, so everything's extra credit for me.
Right?
Well, happy birthday, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
I think we're going out for tacos tonight or later this afternoon or something.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with tacos.
Nope.
And margaritas.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's a given, right?
Yeah.
What was that place down by you, Bill? That
Dos margaritas.
Well, no, not that place. the place that I couldn't get one. No,
Those margaritas.
Those margaritas. That's the place.
Didn't you have some place that had tacos? You went in there and you ordered margaritas, and they're like, "Well, we don't have margaritas."
Oh, that was the other Mexican restaurant down by our house the other way. Yeah. That just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, they don't go there.
When you say tacos, that implies margaritas.
Right?
One would think, right?
No.
Except for Taco
to me, it implies cervezas, but yeah.
Oh, both. I like to start with the margarita and then ease
Transition.
ease into a little Modelo and call it a day.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Rasmus, at least he sent you STLs. At least you got something out of it. Doesn't do you any good if you don't have a printer, but still.
Right.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show for this week. So I think going forward, what do you guys think? Should we expand the horizons? We got a good group of people commenting. Let's ask them.
Yeah. I was going to say, just looking at who's in the comment section, I know almost all of them play other stuff.
Yeah. How would you guys feel if we expanded the scope of the podcast to include all aspects of gaming? So not just historicals, sci-fi, fantasy,
other realms,
all that stuff, other realms.
Yeah.
How does Dawn feel about having to get up?
Oh, I haven't told her yet. She's already up.
Why would we ask? Why start now?
Yeah, exactly. When have we ever had to ask? Our motto is do and ask for forgiveness later.
That's right.
Mostly you.
Dennis is in.
All right, done.
Yep.
Cool.
I mean, that's all we needed, right?
All right. No, I think that's exciting. Rasmus says works for him.
Oh, yep.
All right. Excellent. Nice feedback, guys.
Oh, look at that. See,
Yeah.
lots of
Wait,
support.
so this means you're piling ship too, as you feel. Well, come on, Toughy Ears. You're kind of like that.
Wait a minute, Tough Ears. That was not an answer to the question that was asked. Don't try and throw this back on us. We're gonna blame every one of you in the comments if this goes south.
I mean, if you look at the Discord, they're already putting other stuff in the projects, in the Discord. So why not, right? Let's just Open the doors and bring everybody together.
We'll let you talk about your Warhammer stuff then,
Yeah.
Tough Ears.
Yeah, we
Like,
can talk
like,
about Lord
like
of the
we like we could
Rings.
stop you from doing anything.
Yeah. Plus, we've already been talking about it. What have
Oh,
I
yeah.
been working on? What's Bill been working on?
Right?
We don't need to do 40K though.
Well, no, because then my brother will be
Oh,
involved.
yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
by
say.
the way, he messaged me the other day and goes, "Hey, can I hang out with you guys at Adepticon?" I said,
Yeah.
"Sure."
Hell yeah!
So
Come
he'll
on out.
probably be Saturday with us. So
Cool.
I don't know what your guys' schedule
Sweet.
is, but Dawn and I are attending the Warhammer preview on Wednesday night. We have tickets, so we'll film that or get pictures or whatever they let us do these days.
Okay.
I am going to go out. My plan is to go out Wednesday night, just pick up my badge and my swag bag, and then kind of hang around. I don't think I have a class Wednesday.
I think we have our hotel Wednesday.
Call me
So,
sometime when you have no class.
so the
Right.
nice thing is, I think our hotel's in the same hotel that the historical stuff is in.
Yeah,
So
you're
we'll
at
have
the
a home
Hyatt,
base
right?
of operations there as well.
Yes.
Yep.
And they also have a better bar and restaurant.
Yes.
There you go.
And parking. Oh, dear
Yes.
God.
Yeah. How about it?
Well, this is exciting because we can do Malifaux stuff and Infinity. Infinity's a great game too. If you guys have not played that one, so
I've got a couple friends coming in from Omaha.
oh, yeah.
So we'll
And?
be staying here
For Adepticon.
for Adepticon.
Oh, cool. Cool.
We actually
Yeah.
have to make a run over to the data center, to
Right.
justify it.
Okay, W's.
Oh, you're gonna bring my table?
Somebody get an alcohol test on Tough Ears.
It's like the 22nd through the 24th.
Right.
Hey,
Of
Tough
March.
Ears, you should do that because that's Marty's birthday.
Yeah, the 23rd is my birthday, 23rd March. So yeah.
What's code 1?
But-
I don't know
That's
what code
with
1
lights
is.
and sirens.
No, that's code 3.
No, that's code 3. Code 1 just means you're going.
Right.
It was a joke. Poor
Well,
Joe.
it fell flat on its face.
What? Tough crowd.
Everybody knows what code
Sorry.
1 is. I don't know what code 1 is.
Isn't that like a flavor of Mountain Dew?
That's
That's
yeah,
code red.
code
Oh, okay.
Oh, Infinity
Infinity.
Code 1. Oh, it must be a new updated version.
I was gonna say I don't know crap about Infinity of any of the flavors or versions of it.
Well,
so,
they got a new game. They got
I'll
a
have to
fantasy
check it
game
out.
coming out. I think this spring.
Uh-huh.
Corvus Belly does. So
The light version. Okay, I like that. That sounds like it might not be too tough to get into.
all right. So Dawn's going to be talking about card games, right?
Well, yeah.
There'll be some Magic talk and some Lorcana talk.
Oh, there'll be Lorcana talk. All right.
Right. I was going to
Magic-
invite you guys up here because our coffee place had a bunch of Locrana stuff coming up.
Oh yeah,
They had
that's
the,
cool.
the new release. They were
Yeah.
going to have a big tournament, and
When is that?
I think that one just happened.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think the set's out yet. Is it? I'll have to ask Dawn. I'm not sure. Because
You
we
didn't
are
know
looking to come up for a
pallets show up
weekend.
on your,
It's been a while. We want to come up.
you
Didn't,
didn't see a pallet show up on your driveway?
What's that? The
Locrana's.
pre-order?
Yeah, no. You said you don't know if it's been released. You would
Oh.
know if it's been released because you'd have it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
When does at what price point does Dawn end up becoming like cut out the middleman? When does she start getting direct shipments?
a few thousand.
Okay.
At one time, I did joke and say maybe we should just open our own store.
But then you have to run a store.
Then you have to run a store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And people
it
realize
sounds
that,
appealing until you have to do it.
right? I mean, I'd rather sit there and support someone who's running a store like
Mhm.
Critical Drive or Games Plus. We will support you, Bill.
Thanks.
Oh, also, I do have.
I
to
want
say,
free shit.
Yeah,
How's that for support?
yeah. He's going to treat us like Ron Weasley, I'm your brother. Oh, it's twice as much.
Mm.
We have to have a moment of silence. I believe my laser tube cracked.
On your laser cutter doohickey?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
It was cold.
It's in his garage, which is unheated, and it was like, negative 30 here.
I had a bunch of heaters underneath of it.
Don't you have a basement?
Dude, this thing's not small.
Well, I know. I've seen it. So how much does a laser tube cost? Laser.
Slightly more than your paintbrushes.
All right. Rasmus says, don't let hobby become, I'm assuming that's 40K.
Work. No,
or work.
Become work.
Oh, work. True. Like when I opened the scuba shop, scuba didn't become fun.
Yeah.
It was work.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Oh, it was fun for the rest of us.
I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy having partners. If I learned one thing is if you're going to have partners, you better know who they are and really know them, or just don't have them, or they're silent. It really just
or you don't work the same
screwed
day.
the pooch. How is the painting coming on the Harry Potter minis that the missus is working on?
Well, it's going a little slow. They're currently stacked up over here.
This now from our reporter on the scene.
However, oddly enough,
this is Marty. I'm reporting to you live from on scene.
Sorry. So yeah, I actually have some of those that I built the other day, probably like a month ago. Got a little creature action going on there. So yeah, every now and then is like kind of as a palette cleanser. I'll paint one of those up. So progress is slow but continues. How's that?
Yep.
And that's Marty on the scene. Thank you, Marty, for that special report.
Yes, and Marty's got a whole Skaven army that's upcoming.
Skaven? You're doing Skaven?
Well, yeah, I like the rats. I have no idea how they play. I'm totally going off a vibe.
Okay, since we've opened up the walls here,
the rule of
Dawn and I've decided. So I'm getting the old world from Warhammer, right? Mm-hmm. We are also going to get similar armies from Mantic for Kings of War and do a comparison and see what we like better.
Yeah, I've got your Kings of War stuff, your old one.
I don't want
stuff. No, I'm just saying I have it. So
he wasn't
offering. Look on it. Have fun.
I didn't know. I noticed that he wasn't offering.
Yeah, well, no. We've already had this conversation. He said he doesn't want the old stuff back.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there that if we want to do comparison stuff.
Yeah,
I've got. We
can compare the old shit to the new stuff.
Well, most of the old stuff, or most of the new stuff for the old world is old shit. So
that's true.
Fair.
That is true. Yeah, a lot of people are very unhappy with the idea of I'm paying for old models.
Yeah,
you pay for models. You pay for models. I mean, should they be priced at the price point they are at?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Dennis, Skaven for AOS specifically is what I'm.
But you'll be able to use them in the old world.
Can you?
Will you?
If it's a legacy army, they have PDFs out for them, so you'll be able to use them in the old world.
But wouldn't they have to be rebased?
I don't know. Are they round bases or square bases?
Oh, round.
Oh,
yeah.
We can get a conversion thing. You could. Well, I'd say Chris could make you one on his laser printer, but or his laser cutter.
About that.
Yeah.
Well, just go ahead and pour a little out.
Well, that's the problem. My tube did pour a little out.
Yeah, poured a bunch out.
His tube leaked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, conversion trays.
Oh, well, then, hey. In that case, sure, both. Yep.
Hey, but I know someone who could print those for you.
Who?
I know a guy, too.
Don't you have a printer, Marty?
Yeah. 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Chris wants to use a super fancy machine.
Then print your own shit for your stuff. Do that. I'm a fan. and paint your stuff while you're at it.
I have been painting, bitch.
You said your shit's primed. You haven't even zenithalled it yet. You ain't painting shit.
I was priming last night. So I'm going to be zenithal.
Show me a finished product. Show me. Don't make me pull mine out again, because I'll do it.
We don't want to see it. Don't pull it out.
There's a "that's what she said" joke in there somewhere.
Yeah, I know.
Oh Lord.
Well, you know.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the longest Midwest goodbye ever for her.
Well.
And that on that disappointing note, we're gonna say good day.
That's what she said.
Hey, how about, can we do a real quick shout out to on this day in history?
Sure, go ahead.
1986.
Bears.
Today was the
speaking of pour one out.
Right. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yep.
All right, it's been a slice. Let's wrap this up, boys.
All right, kids. Let me
take care, everyone.
Say thank you very much to everybody who has participated. Bill, can't get good help now these days, can you? Yeah, I try. I mean, I've only known him for 30 plus years, so.
Right?
Yeah, well, Raz, you come to Adepticon and say that to my face so we can go drink beer together again.
Yeah. and all y'all that's talked, just chatting up a good, good argument on your end. You can join the call one of these days.
Mm-hmm.
Tough years.
Mm-hmm. Tough years still owes us an RPG.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right, kids, we're on our way out the door. Have a great weekend. Have fun gaming and hobbying and all that good stuff. And we appreciate you sitting along and hobbying with us. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Oh, boy.
You have been listening to the SitRep podcast. We hope you have enjoyed the show. Make sure you like and subscribe to all of our channels on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. Remember to join us every other weekend for a new episode of the podcast, and don't forget our other programming on Wednesdays and Sundays. Thanks for listening.